Hi guys, welcome to the Premier Division preview show. We have 4 games this weekend. Shamrock Rovers and Bohemians, unfortunately, was postponed because of Shamrock Rovers' European adventures, essentially, Philip. We'll start with Philip this week, and we mightn't have that derby, but we do have another derby, and it's Dundalk and Drogheda, 7th against 6th. 2 wins in this fixture this season for the Lily Whites, despite Drogheda having a better season so far. But this derby, I think, Philip, goes under the radar, in my opinion, a lot of the time, probably because I haven't shared the same division much in the last 10 years. But it's a big derby, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The thing, I suppose the thing from being up to Dundalk a couple of times this year, I've actually got, from talking to supporters, I used to underestimate it as a game, but since I've kind of chatted to lads, especially up in Drogheda, you kind of get a vibe for what it's about, and it's a big thing in their season, and you can get the passion that comes off them, in terms of how they feel about the game, and that's a big thing for any club. There's other derbies in the division that probably are the same, but I think this is probably one of the most underrated derbies when it comes to it. When the be all is when it comes down to the fixtures. But I think Keith, it's a game both sides need to win. It's not season definitive, but it is a big thing that they'll be able to have one over on the rivals. And Dundalk have done that twice already this year, and I don't see at the moment. I don't see why it probably wouldn't be a third time. But again, with these games being so tight, you wouldn't be surprised if Drogheda got a result here.
Where are you going with?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the Drogheda lads. They're desperate for a win, and I think a game like this will fire them up. And I think the people up there are long overdue something now over them for the past a long time. Anyways, I can't think of the last time they beat them. So. Yeah, I'm hoping Drogheda, but again, the quality of Dundalk on any day can shine through, and they can beat anyone in the league. But again, it's been not enough this season in terms of showing up. And look, Drogheda will be right there at it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, Keane, in the league, they're both out of form, really. You could argue Dundalk are out of form all season, really, for the quality they have. But they haven't been doing well in the league after European games. Drogheda, 1 win, I think, 9 or 10 games as well. But I think actually Philip spoke about this the other week, how Drogheda were missing someone who could hold up the ball in the game against Shamrock Rovers. Chris Lyons has been missing for the last few weeks. I think he's done that very well for Drogheda all season. He's been a huge loss the last few weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, a team like Drogheda, they need to have their starting 11 on the pitch. In them 10 games, they've missed James Brown, they've missed a couple of lads, in and around the team, and I think they struggle a lot more than some other teams in the league. Like, you look at Rovers, you look at Pats, Bows, you can move your team around a little bit and juggle it up and get a result. But I think Drogheda are so dependent on their starting 11 or starting 13 or 14 players, that little pool. So it's tough when you're losing one of them. But I'm Dundalk, some interesting signs yesterday for them as well. See how it goes. I think the keeper situation can't be any worse bringing this fella in. So it's positive. He'll definitely challenge for the number 1 jersey, I've no doubt in my mind. He probably gets it as well. And then you're looking, the new forward who can play anywhere across the front.
Sami Ben Amir, a Moroccan under-23 forward, yeah.
So, it'll be interesting to see now whether these are going to be involved or what's the story. But, I'm going to go for the Dundalk win here. I just think they've enough to beat Drogheda. I personally, if I had to pick, I'd love Drogheda to win it all day, every day. But I just don't think they will. And I think it'll be a Dundalk win here.
Just on that signing, Sami Ben Amir, let's be honest, it's unlikely that's a Vinnie Perth signing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, look, Vinnie came out and obviously said he's delighted with them. He said he's not going to say anything else, really. But, the keeper situation is good. I don't know about Sammy and stuff like that. We'll have to see how that pans out. But, the keeper could be a nightmare, or he could be out and it could be great. So, it's positive. I think it just shows that they have a problem in that area and they're not afraid to go and do it. So, it's positive for Dundalk fans. I'd be very happy now if I was a Dundalk man seeing the signing of the keeper coming in more so than the forward. But it'll be interesting to see how the two of them pan out.
Yeah, for me, I think Dundalk just have the Indian sign and Drogheda at the moment, to be honest, and I think they'll nick it as well. And moving on to Waterford and Longford, and this is 9th and 10th in the league, but there's 14 points between them in the league, Philip. Waterford have beaten Longford twice this season. Interestingly as well, they both actually lost 15 games, would you believe, this season. The difference is Waterford have won 8, Longford have still won 1. Represents a good opportunity for Waterford to get another 3 points here, to be honest, Philip, doesn't it? Move up if they can.
Yeah, I suppose everyone's kind of looking at Longford at the minute, Keith, and saying that like they expect to win the game, you know, and I think that just goes to show, unfortunately, that things just haven't worked out for them this year. And like, you know, you look at the quality that they have and the lads that they've brought in, like they just don't seem to be getting a reaction out of them lads that have come in now as well either. So I don't see much changing other than a Waterford win, to be honest with you. And I'm going to go comfortably here, 1 or 2.
Yeah. I mean, Keane, Longford, I was just thinking there, Dervin, like he's a Longford boy, but let's be honest, it's going to be very difficult for Longford to hang on to him for another season, isn't it? If they go down, which they
Yeah,
will
no
go down.
question. I think he's an exceptional player. They've a couple of players that's really good.
Dylan Grimes, another one possibly too. Yeah.
You know, they have some really good players there, but I think Irvin would, like, I'd take him on Pats tomorrow if I had the chance. I think he's an exceptional player. What a talent. But, you know, he's here till the end of the season. He's going to try and pick up as many points as he can with Longford, and I've no doubt he will. Look, he's made a lot of games tighter for them. He's probably just come out on the short. Like, any game I watch him play, he wins his midfield battle. He beats whoever he's up against, you know, and I think that says it all really for me. But no, I can't see Longford winning this now. I just think it'll be a Waterford win. I think it might be a little bit tighter than people might think, but you know, it's a must not lose for Longford, people will say, but it's gone beyond that now. They have to win, and you know they have to win. They have to win well in a couple of games now. So, you know, they probably have to win the next 2 games to even give themselves a chance, a fighting chance, which I still find hard to believe if they will get out of it. But it's tough. You can only imagine what it's like. But you know what, Waterford are beating teams all around them. They were unlucky against Pats not to at least come out with a draw. And, you know, I think from the start of the season to listening to Mark Bertram at the end of the Pats game there and how disappointed he was not to win the game or not to get on now, it shows how far they've come in such a short space of time. So, you know, they're going to be up there. They're going to be up there now, I think, next season. They're going to be, I'm not saying up there for the title or anything like it, but you know, they're going to be in and around the European places, and you know, they're going to give a few teams a headache. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I'm going to go for a Waterford win here.
So, Waterford for me as well, guys. So that's all around Waterford FC. We'll move on to Finn Harps and St. Patrick's Athletic. And fantastic news here, I suppose, Keane, is that a number of Pats fans are allowed to travel up for this. It's another trial game. I believe 800 are allowed in Ballybuffet. Harps have had 2 wins in the bounce. As I said, Philip, before, they've welcomed Webster, Siddiqui and McElhenney back into the side, look more solid. I'll actually start off with Keane here because I have a question about Pats. They've 2 recognised defenders available, Keane. So do your best to pick a back 4.
I'm gonna go with. I personally think he's gonna put Jamie Lennon right back. I think he played there before in a game for us this season against Derry. Now he did get sent off, but you know, I do think he'll be in there. Or he might even slot in James Abankwa right back, who done exceptionally against Derry when he came on and got his chance, and maybe move Jamie into a central midfield or central defensive centre half, like where he can play there. So look, it's going to be a makeshift back line. There's no question about it. You're missing your 2 centre halves, and you know your right full is gone as well. So you know, will Primo in this game, if you were asking me to pick a team, I'm gonna put Jamie Lennon right back. I'm gonna go with Sam Bone and Bermo, and I'm either gonna go with Bermo Jay McClellan left back. But I believe Griffin might be back He's having a little. He's had to been running around. He's had to been in training this week. All good. So he's building himself back up. So you might see Griffin coming out for 20 minutes towards the end or whatever to just get his fitness back up. But it's going to be a makeshift side. There's no question about it. It's not. It doesn't really look great on paper, but the individuals in that squad, we've some really good defenders. I think Jamie Lennon is a fantastic defender. When we haven't got the ball, especially, you're looking at Bermo. I think that speaks for itself. Sam Bone is a defender by trade now, so you'd like to think he'd be good. And Jay McClelland has been excellent when he's come in and played left back, and he offers you a different way of going forward because he kind of creeps in through the middle, and he plays like an extra centre mid. That's in a lot of games that we've had a lot of possession. So I can't see us having an awful lot of possession here in this game. I think it'd be more 50-50. But I still think Pats have the quality. Yet the back line is, like I said, I went through them all there. They're serious defenders on the day as well. So I'm gonna think Pats will come out of this for a win. I don't think it'll be as straightforward as the last one we played up there, but I'm gonna go for a 1-0 Pats.
Yeah, Philip, the difficulty there is, as Cian mentions, like there's good players that will be available, but when you put a back four together that's completely new, you don't have the relationships there. It's a little bit more difficult, and going up to Finn Harps to play Finn Harps, the Ballybuffet, almost the last thing you want is kind of a makeshift backline because, there will be balls coming in from throw-ins, free kicks, corner kicks, and it is going to be difficult for Pats, isn't it? Let's be honest about this, Philip.
Oh yeah, and if anyone's licking their lips at looking at a Pat's back four like that, it's Ollie Horgan. Do you know what I mean? He's licking his lips and eyeing them up. And look, I'll be honest with you now, Keith. I think personally, Stephen will have everything sorted come the game when it comes to the game in terms of the makeshift back four. I think they'll be really, really drilling it in this week in terms of training and getting themselves set as to what they hope to have when they go about the game. Look, that being said, Finn Harps are coming into a good bit of form as well, and like they've had a couple of results on the bounce now, and it's something that they haven't had for a while. Look, fans as well are going to be involved, and I think that's going to be a big factor in the game. There's going to be more there's going to be more of an atmosphere. I think a couple of Pats fans that'll be there as well will obviously help Pats. I think if there's whoever is there, I don't know if it's going to be Keano screaming or whoever is going to be screaming, we make a bit of noise.
He'll be there.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. So yeah, I think there's a lot of factors in this game, Keith, that people need to consider before they even think of making a prediction. And I suppose I've thought about it for a while now. I'm just gonna edge with Pat still. I just think they'll have enough individual quality to get over it. Look at the smile. He's dying not to smile. I can see it there. Look at him.
Him.
You, big smirk on your face. Yeah, he just went trying not to laugh, but I think Pats will have enough individually, and I think it's gonna actually. I think Pats will get a couple up there, but I do think Harps will score as well. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Pats.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm going to go for a draw. I think Pats will do very well to come out with a draw, and Keane's shaking his head. But I actually genuinely don't think it's a bad result. But in terms of if you want to catch Shamrock Rovers, it's probably not a good result if you get me. But I do think it's going to be difficult, to be fair, up there. Northwest Derby, Sligo Rovers and Derry City. This is third against fifth. Sligo haven't beaten Derry this season. It's an interesting one, this, Philip, because Derry are 4 points behind Sligo, right? But Sligo have 2 games in hand. However, if Derry could win this match in Sligo, even with the 2 games in hand, they're actually banging it again. The signing of Andre Wright as well, seems like on paper a good signing for Sligo. I always say that because we see how Parkhouse was a brilliant signing for Derry, and look what happened there. You just don't know. Different players fit into different teams, don't they? And it might take a while for them to fit in, but it might give them a bit of a boost because they're struggling badly, aren't they?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't think things could go so bad for Sligo. Like if you said it 8 weeks ago that they were going to go on this run of form, I'd have laughed at you, because since the start of the season up to the point of this run that they've been on now, they've been really good. They've been disappointing in 1 or 2 games before this spell that they're currently on, but overall they're one of the stronger sides in the league, and I really did fancy them for Europe, and look, they're still right in it, and I suppose I said it last week, they can't keep up this run of form. because they won't finish in Europe if they do. And I suppose they're out of the cup as well, so they have no back door in as well. So they really need to get their league form in order, you know. And I'll be honest with you, Keith, I've just been really impressed with Derry over the past couple of weeks, and I think that the way things are going for them at the minute, I can see it being the stats staying the same, that Sligo won't get a result over them. Look, whether Derry will win the game, I would personally fancy them, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw. If I'm going to call a result, I think maybe 1-0 Derry. I think it'll be a tight game. You know, those derbies tend to be tight, and I can't see that being anything else other than that. I'd say there'd be good football on show. Obviously, Sligo had a rough game there against Harps where they were beaten. It was a scrappy game of football, but I don't see that being the case in this game here. So I'm going to go 1-0 Derry cautiously, but I think they have enough there at the minute in terms of how they're going to get a good result.
Keane, what do you make of the signing of Andre Wright, by the way?
Yeah, look, great signing. Like, you know, he's if you ask me to draw up a list of 5 players that could potentially sign for our club up front, he's definitely going to be in the top 5. He's definitely going to be in one of them. So, you know, it's a great sign, and it'd be interesting to see how he goes. I think the way Sligo play, it'll suit him down to the ground, and I think, you know, Sligo haven't really been playing great football lately in terms of playing on the deck and all. They have gone direct an awful lot. So, you know, he's a player for that as well. And I just think I'm surprised he went to Sligo, but I'm delighted with it in the end because, you know, they've been crying out for a striker. It's a massive one for Sligo. Like, I still genuinely believe with the 2 games they have in hand, like, Shamrock Rovers maybe playing another 6 games in Europe if they get through this toy. And, you know, that's going to blow that whole league wide open, in my opinion, if Rovers do get through. Because they're going to be playing Thursday, Sunday for 6 weeks or whatever it might be. So it's going to be an awful lot of games, and, you know, they're not going to be getting an awful lot of wins. I wouldn't imagine on a Sunday afternoon. So it's a massive game for Sligo in that way. Like, I still think they're still in it. They still have 2 games in hand. And, you know, they win here, they put a big statement down because Derry are right in their heels. And, you know, it's a massive game. I think if Sligo win it, your top 3 is kind of set in stone. And I think if Derry win it, it has the league wide open again. So for a neutral point of view, people would be hoping Derry win it and maybe try and give it a bit of a push. But Sligo won't care about that. Sligo want to get the 3 points here, and I'm gonna say Sligo. I think they have to bounce back sometime, and I think this could be the week.
Yeah, exactly. If they win, they'll actually see Derry off, in my opinion. So that's why it's a huge game as well. But I'm going to go down the middle, and like you, I got to go for a draw for this one. So that's my first draw, lads. Come on.
This one's as usual.
So, guys, please consider subscribing, hit your bell notification button, and like the video. Cheers, guys.